The presenting sponsor of Real VC is iGuide. Fast and accurate 3D tours. Find out more information at upmarket.media/iGuide. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio in beautiful San Buenaventura, California, this is Real VC, a podcast all about Ventura County real estate. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO of Upmarket Media. Katie Connolly, it has been so long. It's been so long. I have a different title for you. You're a realtor at Coldwell Banker Realty. Is this right? All right. Mm-hmm. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm great. Well, and with the other thing is, so we've been away for a while on this show, but we kind of rejiggering it. And the big thing is we got a new studio.
It's beautiful.
It looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels really good to be here.
The wall color is Blackberry Cobbler.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think it looks fantastic.
Yes. I wish I could be a paint color namer. That's
no, you can't.
My next life.
The other exciting thing is we have a new producer with us, Molly Peart. Hello, Molly.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, so Molly at Upmarket Media is our social media manager, and also is now producing this podcast. So it's going to be great. So whenever I don't think we'll really talk about it today, but whenever we are talking about social media, Molly can just pop right in and offer some insights. So it's fantastic. So
because as we've concluded, most realtors aren't great at social media.
No, some are really fantastic. Most are not.
Yes.
Most of us need some help. So, So we will be addressing that stuff on this show. And so we are also going weekly with this show.
So exciting.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm hoping, people are not only just listening, but they are watching. So we do have our upmarket.media YouTube channel where this show is on every single time. We'll be clipping a lot. It'll be on our Instagram. And so, I think there's going to be a lot of ways to see this. So I'm really excited about the plans we have for the show. We have, we are dedicating resources to it. We're really hoping this can be a resource for all the realtors in our lovely county.
Yeah. Value add for realtors and for the community as a whole, hopefully.
That's right. Okay. That's now I'm nervous though. That's a lot. We got a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can do it. And so we want to kick off this new era, this new season, whatever we're calling it, of Real VC, with that in mind. So why don't we get the top dog in West Ventura County? So we got Jeri Becker, who's president of VCCAR. I don't know what that acronym stands for. Ventura County.
Jeri will break it down.
She's also broker owner of NextHome Realty, Pacific Coast. Pacific Coast Realty. I don't know what that is. Jeri, thank you for being here. Hello.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Reed.
Okay. So you're president of the
Ventura County Coastal Association of Realtors.
Okay. And with great power comes great responsibility, right?
That is right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what are you? You're kind of newly installed. What are you up to this year? And we want to really focus on this show of what this year 2026 is going to look like for Ventura County real estate. So getting your perspective on that is really key. But what can you tell us really quick what you're doing at the association this year? You got big plans?
Yeah, I would say that we are tightening up all of our procedures, our committees, getting it very involved. We've got a record number of volunteers, which is fabulous.
Right. All right.
So I want it to run efficiently and smoothly and take as little amount of time out of our volunteers' lovely schedules so that they can go out there and sell more real estate.
All right.
So what I think a lot of people don't know is that the president position is actually 100% volunteer as well.
It is.
It is.
Oh.
So do you hear that from both the realtor community and then possibly your clients? Like, wait, did you get a new job? Are you the president of this company now? Or, are you pretty much making it clear that, nope, this is my volunteer obligation. I still have a full-time job selling homes and running a brokerage?
I definitely budget my time better. And I'm not going to cut my client short. And I'm not cutting my agent short. And I am not cutting the association short. And neither am I cutting my husband nor my kids short. So I sleep about 2 hours. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, kind of. It's like someone's got you're cutting yourself short, maybe.
No, but really, I really got myself in the mindset before I was installed and prior to that to actually really budget my time a lot better and calendar better, because we all have more time in our schedules and you just don't keep running the meeting too long, or
Yeah.
you don't, you get to the points.
Stop doom
Take care of
scrolling.
business.
Stop doom scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah,
Right?
that's not gonna help
Don't
anything.
don't build that time into your
Yeah.
into your day.
Right.
Well, so I think more broadly, I guess like, and I really don't want to get into politics or anything, but this I feel like 2025, and now as we come into 2026, I feel like there's just more uncertainty in our society than there's ever been in my memory. And I've been feeling like, how is all of that affecting, not only our more general economy, but specifically real estate. And so like with all this uncertainty, how can you actually be certain? And how does like Ventura County, this is a really big question. How does Ventura County real estate kind of buck the national trends? I mean, what makes it unique here that people are not seeing in a lot of other places?
So we were actually we saw a speaker together, and he made a great point that, inflation's there, housing prices are rising, however you say it, but consumers have kind of just become numb to it. So now they're more like, groceries are expensive, homes are expensive. And it's kind of, I feel like that's where a lot of our activity in the housing market is kind of ramping up, because people are just like, this is the norm. We've seen this for the past 5 years, but do you agree or disagree?
I agree. And I think that there's other layers to that. I really, really think that we are still like one of the most desirable places to live. And that polling is usually always on point. And so we have the people that don't mind paying a little extra money to live here. As we all know, we have a housing issue going on in terms of inventory.
Yes.
So we're not at that wave or the crescendo of houses being built just quite yet. However, as we all know, legislatively, we will have that big wave crest and crescendo in our area because they're forcing us to build our area out.
Okay, so can you speak to that a little? Because you said, as we all know, treat me as a dummy. And,
you don't look dumb, Reed. You
well,
look
I'm actually very
great.
smart, and I know I look, I look very smart.
It.
But I don't, but I'm not a realtor, right? So I don't know
Okay.
So I hear, of course, I hear things,
that
but
language.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you mean we're being forced? Where are these houses being built, and how can I get one?
Well, the state has decided that each jurisdiction, city, county, area of California needs to do their share to produce brand new housing, brand new ways that our California people that are dying to buy a house can do it, right? Because we're short, our inventory is short.
Yeah.
And we haven't been building. And, people might point to SOAR. We can talk about that later. But it's really more of, let's build up, let's be YIMBYs. I mean, that's what the legislation is actually pushing us to do. So now we're behind by 3 million units or something plus.
Well, and so what is the new housing that will be coming to Ventura County? What does that look like? Is it big, like McMansions? Is it?
Well, hopefully it's a mix.
Yeah,
I mean, hopefully we get some McMansions.
Or is it a little more higher density?
I would argue that we're missing the middle income area. What I would point to right now for currently in Ventura County is the Heritage Valley, and how there's a lot, which is Santa Paula, Fillmore, sorry.
Sure.
I'll spread it out. Santa Paula, Fillmore, Piru, that area. If you go down the 126 highway, that's the right one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And you're driving out towards, say, Santa Clarita, you're going to see all these brand new homes being built.
Absolutely.
And the Limonera is another example of that.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of new homes in there.
Like
and
thousands.
Thousands.
And that's, and that's anecdotally, with our business, Upmarket Media, where we're photographing homes. Like I would say, 8-9 years ago, it was rare that we would ever shoot out in, like I never shot in Fillmore, maybe once. And then occasionally in Santa Paula. Now our team is out there a couple times a week.
Fillmore is
great.
so charming.
Yeah.
Fillmore is just, I love it.
And so, but I just know that that's way more on the radar than it was, 10 years ago. I mean, without a doubt already.
Right.
And you can just see it. You just drive through and you see it.
Yeah, you do. You do. So I guess what was our original question? I'm sorry.
So where,
My
what
head went down a
type of
rabbit
homes are
hole.
going to be built? Where are they going to be built? And I mean, is it just cities opening up the zoning and opening up, kind of allowing these to be built by private developers, or these aren't funded by the state or funded by the cities?
So right now we don't have a lot of government projects going on. There's mixed government and private projects going on, but I think what we really do need is more opening up of like the permitting laws. Not slapping huge amounts of fees on the builders, things of that nature, so that we actually get more of these projects going forward. And, maybe a 6-year time frame from purchasing the land to moving forward with it. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So, in other words, right now, what we're seeing in our landscape in Ventura County, in our area, is that we're still at the beginning. As when I was saying crescendo or the wave crest, we don't have the inventory yet to really meet all those needs. So there are projects like the Heritage Valley that is further along in that line that we're going to see a lot more people being able to buy an affordable home out there.
And all of these things are Googleable. People always ask me what projects the city of Oxnard's working on. And I say, Google, what are the approved projects in the city of fill in the blank, whatever city you're looking at, and it'll bring you to the city.gov website and give you all that information. But I agree with you on the mid-range homes. All housing is good housing, right? So we have first-time home buyers that then can move up into newer, mid-range properties. We have people that maybe outgrew their home that can kind of downsize, and it just puts another opportunity for that first-time home buyer because somebody's moving out of that. It puts another opportunity in, maybe a larger 5-bedroom, 2-story backyard home that somebody's grew out of for another group of people to kind of move in and start the next chapter of their life there. So all housing is good housing, in my opinion.
Oh, all right. Oh,
Yes.
that's good.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still like the most unaffordable area in the United States.
Yeah, tell me, I'm a renter.
Isn't
I
that
know.
great?
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
So
Yeah.
in terms of that, I mean, our workforce housing is the one that's really suffering.
Sure.
And it's really all encompassed. So if we have the jobs available for the workers, high paying jobs, then they can afford a house.
Yep.
It's a big cycle.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So-
Absolutely. And it does feel like that, anecdotally from what I hear is, everyone always bitches about permitting. Like that's the number one thing I hear about. From my friend who's redoing his bathroom to someone who wants to put an ADU to or just build from scratch. Like, it's just taken me 5 times longer than I thought it was going to, just because of being held up by the permits. So
Building and
can you make the
safety-
bureaucrats just permit stuff? Come on, Jeri, you're the president.
I will give some kudos to Supervisor Matt Levere because
Okay.
he has
We gotta
been
get him on
loosening.
the show.
He's great, and he has been loosening up the timelines for allowing permits in the county and making things a bit easier, like ministerial permitting. So I think there was some CEQA talk, like they were saying that they were going to allow less requirements via CEQA on some of the new
Environmental.
builds out there.
Oh yeah.
So he's-
CEQA.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Anyways, it's kind of an environmental review requirement that most builders have to go through so that they
Right.
don't build on top of a
Sure. Which
very sensitive habitat or something.
Which makes sense, right? I mean, that's the
Right.
thing is I think these are, for me, things that I want to see, but at the same time, having a pragmatic approach to it where, it just, even if it just
Right.
moves quicker,
I mean,
know?
that's why I love California, okay?
Yeah.
Because we care.
Right.
I mean, we don't want to just bulldoze
Yeah.
over all of our wildlife.
Exactly.
Our sensitive
Butterflies.
habitats, our butterflies, which I saw at the Ventura City Council, the monarch butterfly grove was cut down, but I learned there was 8 or 9 more groves in the city of Ventura, which I didn't know about. But
okay.
City of
anyways,
Oxnard is in the migration plan too of the butterflies. So.
It's so gorgeous. I live in Ojai, and
Yeah.
sorry, I go down rabbit holes, so keep me
Sure.
on.
No,
Reed.
that's fine. Well, but I have a point about that, about like in terms of like, I live in Ojai too, and a buddy of mine who grew up there. I didn't grow up there. I've been there a long time now, almost 15 years. But he was kind of doing like a lot of people who like have lived in Ojai forever grumble about all the other people who've moved into Ojai, or, oh, it's the hippies, it's the that, it's the tree huggers, it's this, it's that. And he's like, well, everyone's so anti this, anti that in Ojai. And he's like, now it's 30 years later. And you know what? I'm kind of glad, because it's a lot nicer here, because the freeway they were going to build a freeway right into downtown Ojai. And, so just things like that, and all the stuff that I think Ojai has this, kind of, I don't know, reputation as being whatever, hippy dippy and, all the stuff that it is. But man, it's kind of kept Ojai like nice. And it's also, of course, made it the most expensive place in West Ventura County outside the beach, probably.
Right.
But, so I think there's two sides to every coin, right? And I wish there was more affordable housing in Ojai personally, so I could maybe own a home. But
there's a couple projects going forward.
Sure.
But that is entirely correct, and I'm with you on that. We actually do have a highway down the middle of downtown. You know that Ojai out, right?
Yeah. But like not a freeway though, not like a elevated, because it was going to be like an elevated.
We have stoplights on our highway. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Hey, here at Upmarket, we are seeing continued growth in 3D tours as a part of marketing packages for agents. And we've really gotten on board with iGuide, and we're so happy they are sponsoring our show. iGuide makes fantastic 3D tours that consumers love. iGuide tours are comprehensive and accurate, and we can even generate site plans off of these tours, which is a brand new feature which we are so excited to roll out. The other main benefit right now is iGuide tours can be shown anywhere. They can be shown on Zillow, they can be shown on homes.com, they can be shown in the MLS. Not every 3D tour can do that at this point. So if you want to have more information, go to upmarket.media/iGuide to check out what an iGuide tour can do for your next listing.
Back to building and safety, what I'm seeing a lot out there, and agree or disagree, is in regards to permitting and stuff. I'm seeing a lot of people in my neighborhood that are either adding a second story or converting garages and really adding maybe a secondary income stream through an ADU. But we're also seeing adults coming back home still, adult children, and parents, moving back in. So having that first floor accessory dwelling unit. And cities are really supporting that.
Yeah,
I feel so.
Well, yeah, and to speak to the affordability, because it's also apartments, right? And it's like, and I know at our business actually, we just did kind of a round of hiring, and we actually ended up hiring a bunch of younger folks. They're like all in their early 20s, and it's kind of exciting. It's actually I love it. They're fun, but I kind of made the assumption when all of them applied, and I think it is actually true. They all live with their parents.
Yeah.
Except for one who's married and, she lives with her husband. But I'm sure if I was 24, I would live with my parents too. And there's no shame in that, but it also speaks to the fact you can't just be 23 and be working not a high paying job and afford even an apartment with roommates in Ventura County,
right? In
West Ventura County.
So
that's really hard.
It is hard. I believe the average age of the first time home owner has bumped quite.
Yeah.
It's like 38 or something.
38 nationwide.
It's later 30s.
Where it used to be 30, right? Or 29 or something. Yeah.
From a fact check, I think it's 52.
What? No. That must be a fresh number.
Get off your ChatGPT.
I promise. I've done a lot of
it.
research in that, and in the 80s it was 32. It was but now. But I'm gonna fact check it again right now.
You're gonna disagree with producer Molly?
No, I'm just as someone who really wants to buy a home one day.
I am true to heart to NAR, and I remember a 3 in front of it. But Molly, I hear you. Maybe 52 is the real
and it could
number.
It could be, in this area.
That could be who's buying the most homes. Also, the largest
I happen
demographic.
to know someone at that age who doesn't own a home.
According to the National Association of Realtors,
Here we go.
First-time home buyers between 2024 and 2025, so reach an all-time high of 38 to 40 years old. But for all home buyers, including repeat buyers, the median age is approximately 56.
Oh, and repeat buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
that's
buying.
Yeah.
So the median age for all buyers is 56. which is a sharp increase from 49 in 2023.
Molly, we're both right.
Okay, we're both
This
right.
is always the
That's
be-
like
this is
the
always the
best
best.
case
Yeah.
scenario. We're both
Yes.
right.
Yes.
I wonder if investors have to like list their age in their LLCs when they're purchasing homes.
Ooh, I don't
How
know.
would
With
we-
all that new FinCEN stuff, they probably know what their underwear drawer looks like. I mean,
true.
my goodness.
Oh, I post photos of mine on the internet, but
you?
but if kids can't come back home after college and find their own place to live and do that, I mean, what is the future of our county? Is it, because I think one of the things too, even about Ojai, that I think is, which is the thing that's kind of changed since the pandemic, which I think is like, everyone's always bitching about how Ojai has changed, but this time I'm a little bit like, ugh, because it feels unaffordable for the younger generation. And I think LA people are coming in and they're not moving away as much because there's now more restaurants, there's more work from home, there's all these things. And so how then do we keep a vibrant community? Because I think one of the things that makes, like, for instance, Ojai popular with people is it's not Montecito, right? It's not exclusively wealthy. There's a lot of wealthy people, but there's also a bunch of rednecks. There's also hippies. There's the whole wellness thing. There's, a Hispanic culture. There's all this stuff, but you just see it evaporating if the trends continue. So how do we make sure that all of our communities in Ventura County have
Right.
a diversity of them? And it's a diversity of income, of race, of lifestyle, of everything, right?
I think that's one of the gems about Ventura County, though, is that's all of those things that you said aren't just in Ojai. Like we have, there's
Yeah.
diversity across the board in the county, and that's why
Exactly.
we love it here. All kinds of different people.
I
Right.
love it. I
You know?
mean, even at the Ventura Council meeting the other night, they were discussing closing a school or something like that, which I haven't dug into the details, but Ojai went through that.
Yeah.
And I know other areas of California that have gone through the same thing, like we're not able to afford the area, so families aren't necessarily moving in, and then it's like, well,
People are
you know,
waiting to have
it's-
kids.
they're
There's all those
cities
steps.
are following that. Like they're following like what's our average household look like, right? So is it one person? What's the age? Are there multi-generational living situations? But to speak to your point about ADUs, Katie, I think that I'm very positive about that because by right we have in California now the right to create a junior ADU, which
Yes.
Okay, Reed,
Yeah,
a
no, please.
junior
I actually know what that
ADU.
is.
You
Yeah,
do?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so-
but maybe our listeners don't. Yeah.
So a junior ADU is a segregated off within the main home on the property, a ADU, a additional dwelling unit, right? So they have their entrance, they have like a setup to cook and to shower and so forth. But you could like segregate off like a section of your house.
People are
under the
basically
same
converting
roof.
their garages into ADUs.
The garage, that's
is
the
the most
typical.
common thing, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right. And then on top of that, we have a right to create another separate roofline ADU on your property if it's big enough, of course, and it meets the other parameters because
Right.
it's
Well, and I think that's what, and not to always bring it back to Ojai, but it's just what I know is, that's the hope for Ojai, right? Is everyone's like, well, there's going to be a bunch of ADUs. And so you are going to have it to be where the workforce is going to be able
But
to live
don't
there,
you-
but they're charging $2,000 for the ADUs
yeah.
a
Don't
month.
you think
Yeah.
that ship sailed already because they were all excited about creating more living units in Ojai, and I know it's the same in different jurisdictions as well, but it didn't really happen. We didn't produce that much more inventory for people
Yeah,
to
a
rent
little
or
bit,
live in.
but I also think it's clearly not enough because prices are still sky high. I mean, I feel like as a renter looking around, rents have kind of stabilized over the last year. I think they haven't been getting.
That I agree with.
Still inject and jacked.
They're
and jacked,
leveling out,
but
yeah.
they're not coming down. And just even in Ojai, you just see places with a sign up.
Well, yeah,
because before it
yeah.
was like it would rent within one day, and now
Right.
they might be on the market for a little while.
Speaking to a person, I used to manage. Oh God, it was awful. It was great. Over 350. It was about 350 to 400 doors.
Oh, okay.
And let that
meaning
go.
units where you're managing
Yeah,
property.
so I had a
Yes.
team and blah blah blah, and just making sure that was all done properly. That's a fun job.
It doesn't sound
and
fun whatsoever.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good job, but now I have a little handful. But talking to someone who is still in that role with a lot of doors to manage, And she just yesterday, and she was saying, yeah, it's a different field right now for rental. And she had a heart-to-heart with her clients. And basically, she said something along the lines of, you have to lower your price now, or I'm going to drop you because you're too high and you need to drop your rental price. And that's it's hard to tell an owner that, but because maybe they expect that that line is going to, they're going to keep ticking up, and
Yeah.
next year it's going to be $400 more.
Yeah, real estate always
fair
increases,
market
right?
value.
Always. Yeah,
But it's softer. The
Yeah.
rental market's a little bit softer right now, and then if you want to talk about like
The
single
housing
family
market too.
resi-
Yeah, I feel like it's a little softened out.
It's kind of
Yeah.
level
Yeah.
in a lot of places, and I was sharing with you, Katie, that I really like to look at Altos research
Okay.
for the trends, and so I kind of check into that at least once a month, but typically once a week, and it's so interesting the board across our county. And like the median price last week in Ojai was $1,800,000. So it was nuts. But some of the days on market, they were pushing almost 200. So that's kind of a brutal number for a lot of sellers. They don't
Sure.
like to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, no one likes to see that, right? I mean,
right.
realtors don't like to see that either.
So
that means
that's-
you're working for free for 200 days.
Yeah, or maybe they need to go out lower.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of that.
That's the only thing I've
Yeah.
ever heard from a realtor. The only thing they always are complaining to me about their client. I mean, no, they never complain about their clients.
I'm
please, of
sure I
course.
never
Don't
complained
do
about my
that.
No, they don't
clients.
complain about the clients, but they do say, I wish they had just come in lower on the price.
Right,
I hear that almost every single time.
right.
And the
as
clients
we're out
always
shooting
say,
houses.
well, people can just write up whatever price they want, and we'll see what they offer. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. But
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the psychology of it.
Yep.
But, it's across the board. It's very different. I want to say Camarillo. I'm going to just, I don't want to get the number wrong, but, their days on market were much lower. And then you've got Oxnard, which was not that high either
yeah,
at all.
Oxnard's pretty quick.
It's kind of getting more brisk. So I feel like based on Lawrence Yoon coming and talking at my installation and so forth, and I love him so much. He's
Super smart
a
dude.
fabulous economist for NAR. He was saying, excuse me, that we should be expecting more towards the middle of this year to get more of a hot market going on, more of it. Warmer, let's say warmer than what we have right now. So I'm really excited about that. So I feel that a lot of our agents are kind of prepping up for that time period so that we end up with a lot more sales happening for us all.
I think agents and consumers alike, right? Like this is the beginning of the year is always a great time to work on your marketing, get your new headshots, all that kind of stuff
Right.
to get ready for that hot summer market. And there's a handful of programs and stuff, which we talked about a little bit earlier off the air, out there in the universe about helping with down payments and really getting people into homes, which is our goal
Right.
all times of the year.
Right. And then CAR is fabulous. I mean, we all need to push on CAR because they have a whole set of tools for us to help our buyers out there to actually afford getting into a house. And there's some great stuff coming down the pike. I'm really excited about it.
Yep. Another fun thing that Dr. Lawrence said at your installation, which it was interesting, but it's a little scary too. He's from Washington, D.C. and a super smart dude, like I said, economist, whatever, long title. He said that Ventura County to him looked like Orange County 20 years ago.
That was interesting. I think the whole set of people at their tables, it was quiet for 3 seconds, and I couldn't tell if people were not happy to think that we could be Orange County in 20 years.
It's crazy.
Or if they were like, oh, this is great. We can be Orange
So
County in 20
what
years.
does that mean?
What
We
did
could
he
be
mean?
that he's reminded of Orange County 20 years ago.
Yeah,
So
how
then
did you
what's
take that?
what is
'Cause
the trajectory then? Are we're getting Disneyland?
No, but we are getting another Costco in case you haven't seen it on the side of the freeway.
Yeah.
I mean, just cool beach community, but then we have a nice quiet beach community. I feel like we can go to the beach and find parking and all this wonderful stuff. And it's a lot more
so
dense.
when he says it reminds him of Orange County, then are we looking at it that what Orange County is today, which not that I spend a lot of time in Orange County, but it's a lot denser than it is here. I mean, is that the future we're looking at?
I read it as that he feels that we're going to have density closer to, more. And that's the whole idea of like SOAR that we have here in Ventura County, which is very unique for us, which is one of the reasons we're so unique and beautiful and desirable and our prices are so high. But SOAR is like trying to create density in the cities. So it's really, that was the intention when we voted it in, is to save our agricultural resources is what it really is.
Right.
So that we would have this beautiful open expanses. Our beaches are open. Everybody can enjoy them. It's not just for the people who own that little slice of paradise on the beach. It's for everybody. So in terms of what he was saying, I think he was referring to density, as you just said, Reed. And I think he was referring to possibly the pricing, because Orange County has higher price point than we do at this moment. And they're a little bit... Hopefully he was talking about the businesses, because we really need to bring back in some very profitable business sectors into our area to help it grow back up.
Have
And
jobs,
there's some good things going on in that department too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you notice, and I've just, anecdotally noticed, driving around Ventura, the new stuff you see being built is all high density. It's like it's 3-story condo complexes, and then you can drive around, kind of the outskirts of downtown, and you see where the new ones are going to go. I don't know if how close they are, but you see it's almost a whole city block just vacant. And you're like, oh, I wonder what's coming in here. And you can just see it. But I think that's ultimately good. I think that it's going to help downtown Ventura be more vibrant. It's going to, and obviously just give units for people to be able to live.
So do you want to hear my really awful un-PC thing about living here in Ventura County? Because I grew up here.
I thought you loved California.
I love California, but I'm going to... God, this might go out past Ventura County, right? But so when I drive down the 101 corridor from, say, LAX, and I'm going through the San Fernando Valley, we can all
Picture
talk
We've been
awful
there,
about.
Sure, yeah. That's not Ventura
terrible.
County down there, yeah.
No, I do. I used to work down there too, so I do love you guys out there. I have friends there. But you go through, it's like a corridor of like block wall.
Yeah.
And awful
It's
views.
just sprawl. It's just sprawl.
It's
right against the
sprawl.
freeway. Yeah.
So the sprawl is what I don't care for, which is what I think is so valuable here in Ventura County. And so that SOAR is kind of saving us in that regard, but we're also getting pushed to build more, right? From all the new legislation saying, hey, Ventura, you need to put 3,000 new homes in by 2027. And so they're doing it.
Oh, that's next year, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're doing things like that. I don't, forgive me if I'm quoting the RENA numbers wrong, but that's happening.
Yeah.
But they're not sprawling.
Which, so
Right?
what's the unPC thing you're saying? But
Because
that's good,
I don't
right?
like that corridor.
Yeah.
I don't like the
course
block
not. And I
wall.
think, you can see where even like Camarillo busts out a little bit. But, but there's all that agricultural land and it's valuable, right? I mean, that's a big driver of the economy here.
Right.
And so there is still that kind of barrier when you're driving. And I think if we can keep the agriculture, that's what's going to keep it. And then it is those projects downtown where they're building, 50 units on one block instead of, taking up with 4 houses, right? So
I mean, I am at so many of these meetings, and I'm sure you've heard it too, Katie, in your role in the past as, commissioner, that it's hard because the person who's been there in their home for a long time, and then across the street, they're building 3 stories.
yeah.
And it's upsetting.
Well,
But
I mean,
what are you going to do?
But that's
just
the
tell
best.
them tough shit. Yeah. I mean, and also, well, in my opinion, why, just because you own across the street, why do you you don't own the other land. I mean,
It is hard.
I'm not saying it's not hard, but it's like, deal with it. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
You know,
It goes
also
back-
living in an apartment's hard, man.
Yeah, it goes back to
Right.
being a YIMBY, right? The only way
Yeah.
to really tackle affordability is to have more units. That's the only way. It's
Yeah.
supply and demand.
Yeah.
Really is,
Well,
unless-
and
yeah.
you know, and the thing is, I don't know. It's just in my opinion, if you own a house, it doesn't mean you control your neighbors. I mean, it's just
That's
like,
right.
you know, and I get it. As long as it's zoned, and you know, obviously you're not going to put in a electrical power station right next to you if you're zoned residential or whatever it is, right?
Right.
But like, you know, it's like, I don't know. You just gotta be cool, man.
Cool. Yeah. Adaptability.
Yeah.
Change is inevitable. We can have
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
all the euphemisms for sure.
But do you think there can be enough housing where it's going to actually affect prices in a way that makes it more affordable, right? Because it's the affordability crisis, right? And can you foresee a situation in this county where a 23-year-old at an entry-level job is going to be able to move back home after college and afford, you know, to have a place even with roommates?
Well,
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
I mean, there's a lot of layers here. First of all,
Well,
people at 20,
we're like an onion here.
Yeah,
Let's pull
people
it
at
back.
23 are making a lot more money than I was making at 23. You know,
Yeah.
so things are more expensive,
Some
but people
are.
are
They- you
making
know.
a lot more money.
But I'm saying entry-level job, and you know, it's like,
Yeah, I think I said this actually on our very first episode. I don't think that there's this mass exodus out of California,
No.
but I do see firsthand a lot of people choosing to retire out of state, and a lot of like, you know, nuclear families deciding to go live out of state because they want to have, you know, a fourth child or have their in-laws move in with them, and that's gonna free up housing. And you know, people that have always moved to the West Coast are a little bit more innovative, and we know that it's more expensive. This dream of Hollywood, this dream of the beach lifestyle, and it attracts those people here. So yeah, I think it's always going to be there.
yeah.
I think what we've been seeing and we will continue to see also along with that is that we are having parents or grandparents that are pretty stable financially, co-signing with those 23-year-old families
Yeah.
to buy a house. Or
So people with generational wealth are going to be able to afford it here.
yes, okay.
Okay,
So I
great,
know
okay.
that's dodging it a little bit.
Yeah.
But let's talk about those hard-earning 23-year-olds that really put the pedal
and
down.
realistically, it's harder than 35-year-olds.
It is
And it's-
very hard.
And you know, and it's like, and that's the thing is, if I was going to buy, I'd have to have my dad co-sign with me.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
they're
and I'm
trying-
even a little older than that.
I mean, I will give a little bit of like applause to some of our legislators, not all of them,
Yeah,
not many of
sure.
them, but
Okay.
they're trying and their
Yeah.
ideas are coming out and they're because people are screaming about this.
Yeah.
And they should be.
Well, it's a problem.
They
Yeah.
should be. So, for instance, there was a wonderful presentation by retired Senator Hertzberg, and he was also he's from San Fernando Valley.
Okay, wow.
So sorry,
He's not listening
or
to
LA.
this. It's
Don't
fine.
tag him.
Yeah,
Don't tag him.
sorry, no, he's great. He is a great thinker. He put together. There's going to be a ballot measure this year, so it isn't completely. I'll try to give you the highlights of it. So what he's trying to do is say if we build new housing and your middle income, so he's aiming for that lost middle income set, the people we're talking about, right, that are like, I can't even afford to buy anything.
Sure.
Instead of having to like really try forever to get that 20% down and chasing a 20, and that's not necessary, but if you go lower than that, you're priced out often. Like
Yeah.
if you do the 3% down, you've got the mortgage insurance, and it just starts to add up, and suddenly it's like, I can't afford to buy the house any longer.
Yeah.
And so what he's doing is he's saying if you build new housing, he's partnered with private banks, and they've bought into this, so it's already out there. He's getting signatures for the ballot, and he's got a lot, and it will go through. So sorry, went backward on that, but get 3% down. All right. And the bank will come in with a second at very, very low interest rate for the rest of that. So they're going to give you 17%. So you get over that hurdle. You're in the conforming loan. and he's aiming for a price point of like 1.2 million. So that's doable in our area,
Yeah.
right?
You can get a decent place
and,
for that. Yeah.
And then it also has a clause in it that says you must use a licensed California realtor.
Oh.
So California realtors are behind it, and we love it.
Oh yeah, you love it. Why?
We're like, no. It's all good. But
Yeah.
it's true. He understands our value. He understands that we protect our clients, that we have ethics, and that if you use a realtor, you're going to get the best value.
Yes.
So it really proves itself out. Like, use somebody, don't stress out. We know our contracts. And we've got the backing of all the knowledge and the people that we can
Yeah.
get
I
to.
can't imagine buying a house or selling
It
one
would be
without a realtor.
brutal
Yeah.
if you were running it on your own and a first-time buyer. So I'm really excited. I hope it goes through. I think it will. It's got great polling. It looks like people want it. I think you would want it, no?
Yeah,
If you were like saying, I want to buy a house.
Yeah, well, I think whatever we can do to make it more affordable for people who are,
Right.
I mean, that's the thing is, and it's like, I make decent money, and I and it's like, it's just never, quite worked out. And it's like, whatever, it's my own personal stuff. It's not necessarily my biggest priority in life, but at the same time, I would like to have that kind of security. Not that, whatever. I mean, it's still
Reed,
hard to
it
own
is
a house,
so
but
hard right
yeah.
now. The affordability
Yeah.
percentage
I
is
know.
like down in the teens.
Yeah, and that's the thing is,
So-
and I just feel like so much of my, and maybe I'm just looking through it through my own prism, but so many people I know and the people I like and the people I want to hang out with are having these issues, right? And a lot of it is, okay, of course, doctors and bankers, they're always going to be able to afford a house, but what about the creative class? What about the people that actually, bring a certain amount of cultural vibrancy to our communities? Like that's who I want to see being able to get into secure and stable housing.
There's bank statement loans. There's a lot of stuff they can do.
Okay, great.
So yeah, there's good stuff out there.
Well, that's good, and that's I get to learn in this podcast, So
and even there's been, as of like really recently, either March 1st or March 30th, there's additional regulation on cash purchases, all cash purchases. And we were listening to somebody speak of it recently, and it basically just sounds like a pain in the neck. But what I heard was, hey, this is great, for consumers, because competing against an all cash offer, I know we as realtors, we love all cash offers. It makes it so easy.
Right.
Sellers love cash offers.
Right.
But we make it a little bit harder for these cash buyers. Maybe they're not just going to be kind of purchasing blocks or whatever the media is telling us, and just giving true consumers and end users a real shot
and that's the
with a
daunting
little
thing,
less
right?
competition.
If you're just scraping it together to be able to buy something, and then just all cash offer comes in, realtors love cash offers, and so do sellers. So they're going to take that every time, right? And I get it, right?
But maybe not, because there's a lot.
We
Yeah.
explain that to our sellers, right? Because sometimes a financed buyer is better than a cash buyer.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
There are several scenarios where
And-
I would explain to a seller that you're probably better off with this buyer.
Yeah,
the
I had
finance.
on one of my listings all cash buyer come in about $100,000 under list price, and
that, yeah.
$100,000 is a lot of money for for anyone of us, anyone listening, but especially for my sellers. And they were like, "Yeah, it would be easy, it would close quick, but $100,000 is still."
Right. Yeah.
$100,000.
I'll pay the mortgage for one more month and get the.
I'll see what happens,
yeah,
and I support that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Interesting.
right. Well, there we go. Okay. Great first episode back. So thank you. So Jeri, where can we find you? Do you do social media? We don't need to have a big discussion.
I'm going to hire Molly.
Okay, you're going to hire Molly. No, she works for us full time.
I do.
Molly's going to be the
you
first
can-
one to have.
I have an Instagram handle, Jeri Becker, the realtor.
Jeri Becker, the realtor.
I have
Jeri.
NextHome. Yeah, J-E-R. Thank you, Reed. And it's not Geraldine, it's just Jeri.
Okay.
And I also have NextHome Pacific Coast Realty out there.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
couple of
Yeah, okay.
Instagram
All right.
handles that way. So
check it out.
you'll
And you're-
find us through there.
And you're what, Katie Connolly, realtor?
Katie.connolly.realtor.
All
Yes.
right. I'm Reedfish, LYSM, and then we are upmarket.media on Instagram. So give us a follow. Subscribe to the show. Thank you for listening.
Comment.
It really helps us. Yeah, comment, like, subscribe, smash that
Share.
subscribe button. Share it. Yeah. So wherever you listen to podcasts, download it. We're always, of course, on YouTube as well. So thank you, Molly. Thank you, Tessa, also here running some tech for us. Thank you, Katie. It's great to be back.
Yes, we're back.
And
back
but
at it.
Most of all, thank you to our audience.
Yes,
and to Jeri
thank you
Becker.
for listening.
And thank you.
Thank you,
All
Jeri,
right.
for
This was
coming.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank
all
you.
right. All right. And we'll be back next week. Boom.
Good stuff.
Real VC is a production of Upmarket Media. This episode was produced by Molly Peart and edited by Tessa Nelson. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.